Hey, we stopped in the middle of. It's upside down.
Yeah, it's facing the wrong way.
Oh.
It's facing this way. Oh, you need charts.
Okay, here we go. Okay. We brought just a quick recap, so we can get back into a new sugya. We brought the a brisa that says Tarmim Tainim ala groigos b'minyan. You take meiser. So the Gemara didn't know what exact. We went through all three types of truma. What does it mean? Tarmim Tainim ala groigos b'minyan. You take wet figs and you take meiser for the dry figs, but not in volume or in weight, b'minyan, numbers. So the Gemara first started off saying that it's talking about meiser rishon, and then the Gemara went to truma gdoila, and then finally we said no, it's talking about the third one, trumas meiser. So let's see inside from also middle of a sugya, Ella, 6 lines from the bottom. Ella hacha betrumas meiser askinon. We're talking about trumas meiser, and in trumas meiser, meaning once you give meiser rishon to the Levi, then the Levi gives another 10% of that to the Kohen, which equals 1%. In that we don't care so much that it should be exact. That he could give even more. V'abelazar ben Goimelu, the Sanya Abelazar ben Goimelu Omer v'nechshav lachem trumaschem. Trumaschem meaning 2 types of truma. B'shtei trumas al kasem medaber. Achas truma gdoila, v'achas trumas meiser. So the pasuk tells us, we had yesterday the pasuk, today we don't have it in front of us. Kashem she truma gdoila nitelas ba'oimed u'b'machshava. Just like truma gdoila, I don't need an exact amount. I don't have to be exact. I could just sit there and say, okay, first of all, minat Torah, truma gdoila, I could take 1 kernel. But midrabanan, they said take 1 out of 40, 1 out of 50, 1 out of 60. So I take 2%. How do I take the 2%? I don't have to literally, Chacham didn't say I have to go and count 100 kernels and take 2 off. I could do approximately. Try to err on the side of caution, try to give a little bit more than what you think. Like this, the coin will get actually more than 2%. Ube machshava, and then derech hagav, there's another halacha here. Ube machshava, I could do it with my mind. I could look at it, says Rashi, and I say, okay, that over there is going to be truma. It's an amazing chiddush.
Does it, as before we had in people, does he have to speak it out?
No. Tosfos in fact brings a raya from a deaf person who can't hear, who can't speak. So the halacha is he can't take truma. Says Tosfos. But if he can't speak alone, that's a raya that he could do truma. It's only because he can't speak and can't hear. But if he only has one of the 2 problems, such as he can't speak, he could take truma. It's a raya, you could take truma with your head.
It's right that you have to speak it out.
No, he can't speak, and he could. Nevertheless, it works. Okay. Kach trumas meiser nitelas ba'omed u'b'machshava. Ma truma, and here's the point that we want. Now we're holding Daf Nun Hey Amud Aleph. Ma truma gdoila. Ba'ayin yafa, you're supposed to give more than what the Torah says. The Torah says 1 kernel, we say give him 2%, and even more than 2% because you do it ba'omed, you just estimate it. Av trumas meiser ba'ayin yafa. Unlike what we said yesterday, that if you take meiser more than necessary, you run into the problem because now what you gave the kohen doesn't have meiser on it and he's eating tevel. Over here in trumas meiser, I could give more than necessary, and that's the pshat that I give to einim ala grois. So I could give more, I could give bigger and nicer. In other words, if I have 9 shriveled up figs, I give 1 geshmaka juicy fig on those 9. This geshmaka juicy fig is much more than 10%. Right now it's 30%. I don't know how much it is. Because I could give ba'ayin yafa, because we're talking about trumas meiser. Umina, and then we brought a kasha from Omer Rebbe Lazar ber Rabbi Yosi. Abba hayanoitel eser groigos. My father Rabbi Yosi used to take 10 shriveled figs, shibim aktoya, which is that kli that they used to dry the figs out in, Al tishim shebekalkala, on 90 normal figs. He would take 10 shriveled, which is much less than 10% because they're shriveled, on 90 whole figs. Going back to yesterday's sugya. If you say that I look at what it used to be, and it used to be the shriveled ones were whole, were also moist. So the 10% that I'm taking right now is perfect. It's 10% of everything, of what it used to be. But if you say that we view it as is today, batzer lahu, how could he give shriveled up figs on moist figs? It's much less than 10%. Says the Gemara, no. When we're looking at the shriveled up figs, big chiddush. You look at the figs right now, at these shriveled figs. If I soak them in water, they'll expand back to the same size as they used to be. And memela, even today, we don't view it as shriveled up. Rather, they're large figs as is.
It's there. The volume
Right,
is there.
right.
I'm just not being a mamesha.
Right. But had he not said it, you wouldn't have said this chiddush yourself. Now that he's saying it, it's pashut.
It's being mechalik now between grogros and meat.
Well, what?
As opposed to meat, where it won't be that way. We're trying to bring a raya to which we say no, it's not a raya because.
Reuben brings up a point. Do you say the same thing by meat? It doesn't work by meat.
No.
You'd have to boil it. You would have to do something. Over here, it's dry, so you introduce moisture so it expands.
Gemara is saying, the Gemara's goof is saying that it's not going to. Don't compare it to this machalikas of kumayshen and kumayshen because that wasn't talking about grogros. That was talking about
Meat.
yeah.
But maybe the shot is that you usually count the water as a part of the fruit. Or no, the question is if you count the water as a part of the fruit.
Everything is water. You mean the initial water?
You count. You don't.
We're also water, 70% or whatever.
No, but if you can't put back the water into the fruit, if you cannot put the water back into the fruit.
Yeah.
Then your oiches, the fruit is something as it loses a part of its own thing. So if you can put it back, then you count it as fruit in the water.
Yeah, but I think the point is right now, today you have a dried fig. You want the dried fig. This is the tzura of it. So just because I could get it back to where it was, but I'll go upon him. That's the chiddush. I think it's a chiddush. Since you can give it back. Okay. Tana Rabbana. Now let's go here. We're somewhere in here. No, it's not in there. Okay. I had some sort of. Okay, we don't really need this chart, even though I have it somewhere. The halach is like this. It says in the Torah, "B'nugeh to truma," it says you should give the kohen chelbam. This one, Baruch atah Adonai mecholam she'hakohen yeh b'dvaroi. When it comes to truma, we give the kohen the fattiest of the fat, the best truma. So what happens if you have in front of you have shriveled up dates or figs and moist figs? What do you give the kohen? Obviously, you give him the moist figs. That's your chiyuv. What?
What is considered better? Everyone eating.
Oh, okay. But in general,
It's a better fruit.
it's a nicer fruit. It looks better. It tastes better. It is better. Now, to your point, we might see in a second.
Very dried fruit is very fresh.
It depends. It depends where and what. So, Zog the Gemara. Tana Rabbanan.
The main difference is that we go on.
Tormim te'enim ala groigrois b'makom sheregilim lasos te'enim groigrois. So this is the halacha that we had yesterday, that I could take truma from the nice moist figs on the dried out figs. Now, and we're going to explain everything. Everything's going to become more clear. B'makom, there's a rule. It has to be in a place sheregilin lasos te'enim groigrois. This is a place that it's normal. This is what they do. Now, what is the pro of a gregaris, of a dried fig? It has a pro. It lasts very long. And the moist fig, the pro is, it tastes better, it is better. V'loi groi grois altainim. However, you cannot take truma from the dried figs on the nice looking figs. Why on the fresh figs? Because it's not nice. You have to take from the nicer part. Even if it's normal in that city to make figs into dried figs, you don't do it. Let's understand this. In a place, you're allowed to take regular figs and do meiser on dried figs, because there's a place that only in a place that they take tainim and they make into groigros. Now, b'makom sheregilim in, b'makom sheregilim loy. The problem is that if it's a place that you don't take a fresh fig and make it into a dry fig, then you cannot give it to the kohen. Why? Because it's going to get ruined. You're basically giving him something that's going to get ruined. Now, what are we talking about? Why would it get ruined? Let him eat it. Says the Gemara, what's the case? If there's a kohen available, what's the problem? What's the best thing? If there's a kohen, you give him from the nice figs, from the fresh figs. Elapshito, the leke kohen. So the Gemara establishes that we're talking about a city that there's no kohen. If there's no kohen, you can't use fresh produce as meiser because it's going to get ruined. Okay, so what are we talking about? There's no kohen. A maseifa. V'lo groigoi salatainim. You cannot take meiser from the dried figs on the fresh figs. V'afilu b'makom shirogel asistainim groigois. Now, if there's no kohen, of course you should use dry food. Why shouldn't you use dry food? It's the better product right now. You have to wait. If you do meiser from fresh fruit, it's going to get ruined by the time you find the kohen. So of course, bosnan, and not only that, there's a mishnah makom shein kohen toyer min hamiskayim. It's better to take meiser from something that lasts longer, which are dried figs. Elopshita deike kohen. So over here, all of a sudden, we have to say that there is a kohen, and if there is a kohen, don't make it dry food, make it fresh food. So Reisha Deleke Kohen, Seva Dike Kohen, the famous kasha that we always had. In the last 4 or 5 months, we had this kasha 5 times, right? How could it be that the Reisha is talking about there's no Kohen, and the Seva is talking about there is a Kohen? Say it. Reisha Deleke Kohen, Seva Dike Kohen. However, in this Gemara, it's different than all the Gemaras we had. Omer Rav Papa, Shma Mina. You see from this a very big yisoid in Shas. Dachkinon u'mukminon al-masnisim b'trei tamyi, v'lemikminon b'trei tanoi. If you have a choice to say that the Mishnah goes according to 2 separate shitas, the Reisha is the Tanakam and the Seif is Rabbi Yehuda, because there is a Rabbi Yehuda that says it's always better to give from the nice. He says doesn't matter if there's a kohen or no kohen, even if there's no kohen, give the beautiful fruit. That's what the Torah wants it to do, mechalbeim, from the nicer fruit. So we could have said easy that it's talking about according to Rabbi Yehuda. The Reish and the Seif go according to 2 mandamrim, and I don't have a stira. No, it's better to be doichak and say that it's talking about 2 separate cases. There is a kohen and there isn't a kohen, versus Rabbi Yehuda and the Tanakama. That's the yisoid in entire Shas. That actually, I'm thinking now, because we had a few times, we had like Rav asked the kasha, Reisha is like this and the Seif is like that. Omar Abaye he didn't answer. He just said yes. But maybe what he's trying to say is, yes, it's better to say like that than to say that it's a machlokes. You know, it's a little bit deeper than just a yes. You know what I mean? Says the Mishnah. Now before I start the Mishnah, yesterday, where's Avi? He's still not here. Is he watching? Because I'm afraid I'm going to forget. And it's getting old. I wanted to take this opportunity to thank the whole Olam, because on Simchas Torah, Avi Kamiansi came over to me, he asked me, what am I bidding on in Shul? So I told him I want to bid on Chazon Torah. So he said, okay. And with slyness, he went to the side and he bought me Chazon Torah from the whole shir. Basically, he took it upon himself. He said, whatever he gets from the shir, he'll get, and the rest. So I want to say shkoyach to every single person in the shir, those who were mishtatev, those who weren't mishtatev, and I felt bad because I'm also part of this year, so I was also mishtatev a little bit. Okay, so shkoyach to every single person. My wife was very excited about it. I don't know why. She said, oh, the shir bought you the shir. Okay.
Should also be mishtatev.
Yeah. All right, you'll speak there. I don't care. Says the Mishnah. What nusugya? Nu mesachta. Says the Mishnah. Kol ha-menachos. We touched upon this the other day. But you know what? This is very interesting. This Mishnah looks like it's a nice innocent Mishnah, and it's really it's a little confusing if you try to understand everything that's going on here. It says Kol ha-menachos niloishes bepoishrin u'misharim shelo yachmitzu. All the menachos, even the ones that are matzah, that are not supposed to be chametz, what do? You, like we said, we did the demonstration here, the mincha demonstration. It didn't go very well. We had this 5 pounds of flour. We put in a little bit of oil, a half a liter of oil, and garnished. I couldn't do anything with it. It was weird. And then we figured out this Mishnah. You need warm water. Warm water makes a geshmak. You could start kneading it. Now, does everybody remember, when do you need it? Before Kmitza or after Kmitza? Before Kmitza. So just in case you don't remember, I have to use my old chart. I didn't do this morning.
It's never on the flour, dry flour.
Well, it depends if it's minchas chayta. Minchas chayta. Anyways, you go through all these steps until you get to number 10, which is Kmitza. So you do put in shemen, you put in the soilers, then you, over here you have, where was it? Yitzika. Where's boilel? Oh, boilel, number 3, thank you. Boilel means you mix it together. So that's all the way 3, only by 10 is Kmitza. So says the Mishnah that you need the dough with warm water. Why warm water? Because boiling water, you can't, it doesn't become chametz anymore, it's not good, it ruins it. But over here, we don't want it to be chametz anyways, but it ruins it. Cold water is not as good. Warm water, it's easier to knead. Umishamrim shlo yachmitzu means that the kohen keeps on kneading it so that it doesn't become chametz. Now, all this takes place before the kmitza. It's important to remember that. V'michmitzu shioreo. Now, all of a sudden, the Mishnah, if you don't pay attention, you might miss this point. V'im michmitzu shioreo. But if it did become chametz, when? After kmitza. Shioreo means the leftover. After the kmitza, who gets the leftover? The kohen. Oiver b'lo sasa. If you're not careful and you don't knead it properly, you don't continuously knead it, and it turns into chametz, you're over on aver. Shenemar. And here it becomes even more confusing. Shenemar. What's the pasuk coming for? The first part of the Mishnah. Unbelievable, no? That's why you have to pay attention.
The stuff from becoming leaven. He's busy kneading the stuff.
No, they put that on the kmitza. They put on the mizbeach, so he's not worried about that. And then whatever's left over, he has to mix and make sure it doesn't become leaven. The shirayim, whatever's left in the bowl, he takes one kmitza worth that he puts on the mizbeach. That bowl that's left over goes to the kohen. Has to make sure it doesn't become chametz until he gives it to the kohen. What?
Can be a few kohenim.
Yeah, of course. Now, Shenemar. Shenemar goes on the first part of the Mishnah. Unbelievable. The what? It says, Kol ha-mincha shetakriv Hashem loisei asa chametz. It cannot be made chametz. And the Gemara is going to introduce a second pasuk to make it a kfilos, a double lashon, which tells us that it's no good. That what? You have to make sure that before the kmitza you don't make it chametz. Now, the chayev alishasa. You're chayev on, if it becomes chametz, you're chayev malchus on kneading it. Va'al arichasa, and braiding it, making it into bread. Va'al afiyasa, you chayev a third set of malchus on baking it. In other words, on every step of the baking process, and the Gemara is going to say even smoothing it out with water on the top, any part of the baking becomes a isser of malchus, and you can get 3 malchus, 4 malchus, depending on how many maisim you do here. Says the Gemara, Menachos. What is the pasuk? What is the source? Now, if you just read these words again, what do you mean Menachos? The Mishnah says, Shenemar Kol mincha shetakriv l'Hashem. Because the Mishnah is talking about the Reisha, before Kmitza. Now the Gemara is saying, Minani Mili, how do I know that after Kmitza, you're over and a lav? Amr Shlakish, Domakro. What? Yeah. Now the Gemara is going to say even that. Domakro. Loi se'ofa chometz chelkam. Now, this is also very interesting. Here. In the pasuk it says, just if we read simple pshat in the pasuk without Rish Lakish, Loi se'ofa chometz chelkam. By the way, this is Vayikra Perek Vav. I highlighted it because it's important to us. This is Perek Vav. Loi se'ofa, you shouldn't bake chometz. Now, really, this is a comma. Chelkam nosati oisam ishoy. I gave part of it, the shirayim, I gave to the kohen. Right? What does chelkam mean? Part of this mincha, I give away. But where does the chelkam go? Normal pshat on the back part of the pasuk. Lo yisei the chometz. Period. Don't make chometz. Comes Rish Lakish and says, no. I want to take this word chelkam and use it for my purposes, for the beginning of the pasuk. Lo yisei the chometz chelkam, even a partial. Even shirayim. Yeah.
Pshat of the pasuk. It's a drasha.
You're right. It's not pshat in the pasuk. Frag the Gemara, v'haylach uda asa haymebarle likidasanya. I can't use the word chelkam because I need it for something else. It says loy seyafa chometz. Ma tamad loymar. Balak v'nema loy seyasa chometz. Over here in Perek Beis, it says way before. Oops, I guess I cut it off. Kol mincha asher takriv Hashem loy seyasa chometz. You can't make it chometz. What does siyasa mean? It's a very general term. Don't make it. It doesn't say how. It doesn't say bake it, lisha, afia. It doesn't say anything. It says you shouldn't make it chametz. This is much more specific. Lo say afe is one specific way of one of the processes of baking, but this is a general thing. Lo say is general. And Mela, I would think that you chayiv one malchus on afia, lisha, and what's the other one? Aricha. Talmud loymar loisi ofa afia b'chlal loisa. So that's why the Torah says afia, specific. One of the four things that you could do when you bake. It's baking. Don't bake. V'lama yatzis lahakishilel. And it went out, and the Torah specified it, even though we already knew the generalization. The Torah says, look, take note, afiyah is by itself, it's one of the many things you do to bake, and you're chayiv even on that one action. Everything, even kneading, even braiding it. And what does that mean? Even putting water. I would think in Eretz Yisrael, you have pretzels, they have the sesame, you have your pizza with sesame, so maybe sesame would also be one of the, I'm just saying, I don't know.
Well, what defines a Maaseh Chashav? You're saying it's
Who says Maaseh Chashav? Yeah, I'm saying it's a Maaseh Chashav. It's so chashav to put water on it and go like this, I don't know. The egg, like like we do challah, that's a Maaseh Chashav, yeah. To baste it. Yeah, okay. So basting it with the yolk, whatever, with the egg. Fine.
You have eating insects. You have a whole bunch of isurim at the same time.
No, this is different. Because over there you're eating one insect and you're over 8. Over here you're doing 5 actions. First you go like this, you chayv one. Then 10 minutes later you go like this and you braid it, another one. Then whatever you do, each one is a different action. But I would think that the loisei asa includes all the actions together. Loisei asa, don't create a chametz. Doesn't matter how many actions. Talmud loymer loisei afa. The Torah singled out one to tell us that on each and every one you're chayiv. What?
What if I put sesame or poppy on?
I don't know. I just threw that in for you to think about it. I don't know. So what's the Gemara's kasha? Right now we're in the middle of a kasha without realizing we're in the middle of a kasha. The kasha is that we don't have a pasuk anymore. Before we used, Rish Lakish used chelkam to tell us that shirayim also. But I already used the pasuk to tell us this halacha, that each and every one gets a lav. So I don't have a pasuk anymore. Says the Gemara, no, You just answered it with your words. Anan mechelkam kamirinon. He is learning these halachas that each and every action gets a malchus is from the first part, the first red, lo siyafa. And Rish Lakish was learning from this part, chelkam, so it's not a kasha b'chlal. Ve'ima kuli lo achid asa. Maybe according to Rish Lakish, the whole pasuk is telling us one thing. Lo siyafa chometz chelkam. That's what the pasuk is telling us. You need the first part. Lo siyafa chometz. You can't just say a new pasuk zayin chelkam. That doesn't work. So obviously he needs the first words. Lo siyafa chometz. And memela, I can't learn anything from it. Says the Gemara, according to Rish Lakish, it makes a lot of sense now. This word chelkam doesn't belong here. This belongs to the second part of the pasuk. According to you, Rish Lakish, you should have taken the word chelkam and put it in the beginning. Chelkam l'siyafa makes a lot of sense. Don't bake a partial baking. The fact that the Torah took it and put it over here instead of the beginning of the pasuk, I learned another chiddush from it. That what? That each and every one, each action you chayiv malkazan, and his chiddush that even shirayim shouldn't make chametz. Now, ve'ema afia de parabo rachmona l'chayiv chada, inoch l'chayiv chada kulu. Okay, says the Gemara. I have two psukim. Loisa yafa. If I bake it chametz, I get malchus for baking it because the Torah specified it. But if I do lisha, aricha, what's the word? Likita, kituf. All three of those, they're included in loisiyasa. All three of them, I'll get one malchus. You're right. You get malchus for every single individual action, but maybe one malchus for all of them together. Meichatesa, they get a bunch of malchus.
Rish Lakish doesn't argue with this though.
We're going in Rish Lakish, explaining Rish Lakish. Meichatesa. It's not so much Rish Lakish. It's the next brisa. But in the brisa, how do we know that a guy could get? It's a riddle. How could a guy bake bread and get 4 malchus? If he did chametz by the lisha, chametz by the aricha, chametz by the afiyah, he gets 3 malchus. How do I know? Maybe he gets 1 because it says lo siyasa, or 2, 1 for afiyah and 1 for all 3 other actions. Says the Gemara. Don't get nervous here. This is very simple stuff. We say it as some people say it every morning. What happened? It says over here in Perek Beis already a klal. What's the klal? We have a rule. Don't make chametz. Be careful not to do chametz. All of a sudden, in Perek Vav, the Torah specifies and says, don't bake it chametz. So it came out of the klal. This came out of the klal. It came out of the rule. It was more specific to tell us we have a rule that davar shayav a klal. If it was already loisei afa was already included in loisase. I didn't need the Torah to tell it to me. So we have a rule. Davar shayav a klal v'yatzam min a klal l'lamid. It comes out of the klal to teach us. Lo l'lamid al atzma yotza, ela l'lamid al klal kula yotza. It comes to teach us a whole general rule. Ve'ima loisei asa klal, loisei afa prat, klal uprat uklal, klal uprat, ein beklal ela masha beprat, afiyah in midachrina loy. So we have a klal, then we have a prat. As the Gemara. What's going on here? This is in Perek Beis, and this is in Perek Vav. That's why I highlighted it. The 4 prakim away from each other. You can't do a klal u'prat u'klal like that. The klal u'prat u'klal that we are used to in Perek Beis. If it would say next pasuk lo seyafa, so I would say okay. Why did it say lo seyafa right after lo seyasa? But you can't wake up 4 prakim later. Oh, you yes, but not for a klal prat. You can't put them together. It doesn't work. In donim, b'chol klal prat u'merchokim zeh mizeh. In donim ois b'klal prat. Moser revada b'rahava. So now I'll show you that you're wrong. I could do a klal prat u'klal when they're distant from each other. A klal prat.
Yeah,
sorry.
Because you daven.
I know. I don't daven. That's why I say it. Last time I said that, Hashem Yirachim. I was probably in Shiva Ktana. Or on Yom Kippur when you come like an hour before. What do I do now? Baruch Hakim Zeh Mezeh. Very good. Yes, the Litvaks especially.
Funny. The things that get sacrificed.
However, 10 minutes. We have plenty of that. The reason why we say karbanas is that it should be kilo hikriv carbon. We all chayiv karbanas. But if we learn menachos, we get the same schar as if kilo hikriv that we learned. Tzvachim. So mela. What?
No more karbanas. That's it.
All right. Moser Rav Vamri Lokidin. Some people say no, it's not. It's an anonymous saying. Uklal uprat amruchokim zemezeh ein dana noisem b'klal uprat. Just because they're distant from each other, not. Votanya. It says by the chatos of the nasi. You have a nasi that sinned. He has to bring a chatos. It says v'shochat oisoi b'mokom asher yishchatos oila lefnei Hashem chatosu. So where does a nasi bring his chatos? In the same place that you bring an oila. Where do you bring an oila? Heichen oila neshchetes b'tzofin, avzeh b'tzofin. So, in case you haven't seen this chart, we used to use this chart every day. Yeah? This is the Mizbeach. This right over here is the Azara. This line over here of where the Mizbeach ends, that's the tzafan line. Everything from that line down, since this is tzafan, so from this line down it's called tzafan. When I bring, it's turned upside down. If you're American and north is on top, so it goes like this, fine, north. Everything from this line up is called north. So Mela, if I bring a oila, I can only shecht it over here. What happens if I shecht the oila over here? Puzzle. So the Torah says that oh, sorry.
Now the video can't see it.
That's okay. They saw it before. This is the line. From this line up, or this line down. I don't care how you. The Israelis, they put safan on the bottom. Okay, to mess us up a little bit. What?
These charts.
These charts? I don't know how it goes in the Gemaras. Safan on top. Fine. So we're talking about the chatos of a nasi. The Torah says the chatos should be like an oila. The oila you shecht in the north. So the nasi's chatas also in tzofan. Oh yeah, so we have charts here. Yeah, that's fine. Again, this is important because Vayikra Vav. We have a general rule. Forget about the nasi. Any chatos, it's kind of small. I didn't have a lot of time to play around with it. I just printed it and finished. A chatos goes where the oila goes. Finished. So memela nasi, his chatos should also go where the oila goes, which is in the north. That's where you should shecht it. Why do I need this pasuk in Perek Daled? V'samach yodei arosh, so you can't read this. I can't even read it. That's the chatos. Why do I need it special by the nasi? What does l'koivai mean? We said that if something is written twice in the Torah, there's a kvelos, it makes it a kvios, it says this is for real. If he didn't do it, it's puzzle. Now, says the Gemara, it's a little bit of a cheshbon here. Maybe the Torah in Perek Dalet tells us the nasi, when he brings a chatos, he brings it in the tzafan. But if Joe Shmo brings a chatos, doesn't go in the tzafan. Maybe it's an exclusion. But that's like a klal brat. So Ze bonaav lekol achatoy shetunis tzafon. Oh, did I skip anything? Everything needs, every chatos needs the north. Time of the kosher rachman of shochat is a chatos. That's because I have a special puzzle. I would think only the chatos of a nasi, but no other chatos. My time, klalu prat. Why would I think it's so special? Right? That's basically what Mendy was asking. Why do I think it's so special? There is a pasuk that says that all chatois are like oilos, and Mamela has to be in the north. So what are you telling me? No, he's different. Why should he be different? Oh, because it's what we just learned. It's a klalu prat. This is in Perek Vav, this is in Perek Dalid. How do you make a klalu prat? So the Gemara. So you see that you could do a klal uprat, a klal when they're distant. A klal uprat, sorry, klal uprat.
Is it implication?
I keep on saying klal uprat, klal.
Is it implication that for the Nasi it's ma'akev, but for everybody else it's not repeated? It's not ma'akev.
Right. That's exactly what the Gemara is saying. That I would think that implication kamashman. I don't say that. I don't say that that's dafka for the Nasi. It is for everybody.
No, but the repetition.
The repetition of, that it's kavich that's puzzle. Maybe it's not puzzle. I hear what you're saying. There's a psul dafka over there and not over there. It does say it and it's usur, but maybe it's not puzzle. I thought it's puzzle. Okay, we have to look into it. Maskil or Ravashi? Hi klal upratu.
So what's the question?
No, before we said even far away, you say a klal uprat. Don't say klal uprat the klal. You say a klal uprat when it's distant. Now, Ravashi made the same ha'ara that you guys were making to me, basically. Hi klalu pratu, pratu klalu. It's not a klal and then a prat. It's a prat and then a klal. What's going on here? Because look over here. In over here, it is a prat. Perek Dal comes first. And it says we're talking about the Nasi. What's the Nasi? A prat. Then comes Perek Vav and says a klal. Not to be confused with klal and then uprat. It's a completely different halacha. Prat klal is different than klal uprat. Okay? No, you just can't even learn it. There is no, it's a different limud.
It's to do with which one comes first?
Yes, which one comes first is a big difference. Hi, klalu pratu, pratu klalu, it's a pratu klal. And what happens? V'nasa klal moisiv ala prat, v'sravlu kol mili. If you have something, a specification, and then a generalization, the generalization just adds everything to the specification. And I don't learn anything. Elatano, says the Gemara, why then? Why did I think that the chatas of the nasi is so special? Because I thought I had a klal prat. The Gemara says I don't have a klal prat, I have a pratu klal. So it's not so special. So why is nasi so special? Why would I think nasi is different than all the chatais? That only nasi has to go in safan? Because of this little word over here, oisoi. Oisoi is very specific. This chatos of a nasi, in the pasuk of the nasi, it says oisoi b'mokom hashiyas chatos. Only him. It's a mamish a miut. Oisi is a miut, not a prat. A miut. Oisoi him. Only the chatas of a nasi has to be with safon. Oyel shezeton safon v'nacheton safon. Elatan oisi kagashile v'chikamar. Oyel shezeton safon v'nacheton safon. Maybe only in the nasi. Why? Because Rahman oisoi. Fine. And then we'll do this next sugya tomorrow. Whoever wants, I have real quickly. Whoever wants a little. It's already almost 8 o'clock. For you, Chaim, I had a little shtickle. It's very specific. It's only a nasi. Chatos is tone.